When you served as Nantou County Magistrate, 2 indigenous townships were under your supervision. You were also chairperson for the Indigenous Peoples Commission in Kaohsiung County. You have previous experience working on urban indigenous policies. I would like to ask you, what is your position regarding indigenous autonomy? I would agree to a certain degree of autonomy. I do not, however, think that comprehensive autonomy is feasible.
Premier Wu Den-yih did not outline his definition of autonomy. He said the current status quo is acceptable.
If you look at indigenous townships, most heads are indigenous. In addition, several legislative seats and county and city councilor seats are reserved for the indigenous. I think that the government should grant enough power for self-governance to enable indigenous politicians or representatives to manage the affairs of their own community.
During President Ma Ying-jeou's presidential campaign, he pledged to enact a trial autonomous period. More than 1 year later, the government has yet to provide a timetable. Legislator Kung, who drafted the president's indigenous white paper, was quite disappointed with the Ma administration's slow action.
If we get a trial period for indigenous autonomy, we would consider the promise fulfilled. If not, we want to know what the problem is. What is the CIP's priority? The Indigenous Autonomous Act is our priority.
Although the Draft Autonomous Act is a priority for the CIP, and the Premier has emphasized his willingness to agree to the establishment of indigenous areas, it is still uncertain whether indigenous autonomy can be realized during President Ma Ying-jeou's first term. TATV Weekly.